this video, I'm going to show you how I made these 3D style Hulk fist cookies. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. Here are the things that I used. A 2.5-inch Hulk fist cookie cutter that I got from Etsy.com, and I'll give you a little bit more information on it later on in the video. Also a 2-inch round cookie cutter and some rock candies that I got from eBay and Hobby Lobby. I also will be using black and leaf green food coloring and some royal icing. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, to get started, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. Now you can either do it like this, which is wet on wet and it will dry flat, or you could fill in your whole entire cookie and then let it dry and then go over the outlines with a thicker, darker icing. And you can follow the lines by using another cookie that has been uniced, because once this gets completely filled, you will lose the line, so you will need a guideline. You can either use this, but I think this will be a lot easier to follow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the one that I'm just going to fill in really quickly, and I am using a tip number 3 to help me fill it in a lot faster. This will help with my wet on wet, because it will help me fill it in quickly, and I'll be able to go in with my outline and have it sink in nicely. Okay, so that's basically it, and then you can just go ahead and put this aside and let it dry. Give it about 45 minutes to an hour. That way it can dry nicely, so you can go over it with your other lines. And like I always say, the longer the better. If you want to wait till, for an hour and a half or so for it to kind of completely dry, that will be the best way. That way when you go over it with your lines, you don't actually accidentally puncture your icing. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And now I'm going to do the other one. Now this one I will need a darker, a little bit thicker consistency, in a tip number 1. And I'm still going to use this other lighter green in a tip number 3. And just go ahead and fill it in. Just be careful up here not to lose the shape of the knuckles. Okay. You don't have to go too down on here because it's going to be hidden. So you can leave a little bit of space. This up here, try to go as far to the edge as possible. Okay, now really quickly, you're going to go ahead and use your darker, a little bit more thicker consistency in that tip number 1. And I'm going to use this here so I can follow my lines. And I'm just going to start off here with the thumb. It's going to be a little bit hard to follow, and just do your best. You can also do this with fondant as well. It'll be so much easier. You can just use the cookie cutter and cut off the fondant with it, and you'll be done, because you'll get the impressions on these from the cookie cutter onto your fondant, and it'll be so much easier. You'll be done in no time. So then here I'm just going to bring this down, and it has 2 little lines down here, another one down here, and then another one a little bit longer, and it has one longer line here and a shorter line here. And then here around the wrist it goes up, and then it comes down for the longest line, and then a separate line here. It has one more little line down here. I believe that's it. So I'm going to go really quickly and try to push these down so they can sink in. And that's pretty much it. So once this dries, it'll dry really smooth. I like this way better, but both ways will be fine. If you think that you may not be able to get these done nicely, you can go ahead and do the other one with the outlines on the top, but I think I like this. It's nice either way. So I'm gonna go ahead and let these dry, finish up the rest. Alright guys, so now to do the ones with the outline on the top. Now these are gonna take a little bit longer to dry, like the process is gonna be a little bit longer because these here have enough time to dry, so I can start using those to build up my cookie. But since these have to wait till this dries and then I have to go on with the top layer and then let that set and dry. It just takes a little bit longer for it to all come together. So I do highly suggest making them this way. You know, now they are ready to be used. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this one as my guidelines because I don't have any more empty cookies. So I'm gonna need something to follow. So I'm just going to follow that outline. So this is my thumb, and then I'll bring this line down. I'll make two little lines here, one little line here, and one long one across, one down here, and a shorter one here. There's a little line here. Here at the wrist, go up and all the way down, a little line here. And up here has one little line up here, and then here it comes down, and then there's a line that goes down here and curves, another line that comes here and curves and then curls, and then it has two little lines here too. These are all the wrinkles in the hand, and then one that comes down here. I'll take a little break and use my tool to bring these peaks down so they don't dry standing up. And then I'm going to do a little bit different than what I have here to give it a little bit more of an outline. I'm going to bring this down here and down just so I can get that outline for the fingers or the knuckles. All the way from here, so that gives it a little bit more more detail to that part at the top of the hand, the knuckle parts. So it's going to be a little bit different than the one that's sunk in. So that's pretty much it. So now you're gonna have to get let these dry before you handle them, but I'm gonna move on with this one here so we can get this video finished. Alright guys, so moving on to the base so we can finish these cookies. I did give the fist an hour and a half to dry. You want to make sure that they're nice and dry before you handle them, so that way you don't accidentally puncture your icing. The other ones are still drying, so I will leave those towards the end. I'm going to finish them up and then just put them all together towards the end. So I'm going to use these so we can finish these cookies. Now I have to give credit where credit is due. I did get this idea from Melbourneian Mama on Facebook, and I came across her picture when I was looking for a Hulk fist cookie cutter. And I always get my cookie cutters from Etsy.com when I can't find them anywhere else, and I like to shop with Francesca For Me. That's the shop that I get majority of my cookie cutters from, and I've done cookies and videos on these already, so they should be on, you know, my list of cookie videos. And I came across this one and I absolutely love it. I saw the picture that she had posted on her shop from Melbourneian Mama, and I had to make a video on it. I thought this was such a brilliant idea. I don't know where she got the idea from, but if she got it on her own, she did an awesome job. She did do her fist out of fondant though, so she did use her cookie cutter, pressed it on the fondant, and then put it on the cookie. So it's a little bit different, but you can see the impressions on the fondant that she used, so they looked really neat. I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to leave all the information down in the description box below, so you can go check all the pictures out and check Francesca's For Me Etsy shop, and then you can get all the goodies from there. So I'm going to go ahead and move on so my video doesn't get too long. Now I do have this gray icing in a little bit thick consistency because I need these rocks to stay put. Now the thicker the better. If you have to squeeze hard, you're gonna have to squeeze hard, but it helps to keep this 3D style cookie standing. So what I like to do, I don't know how she did hers, but what I did is I just piped some in the front and some on the back and added some rocks. I'm gonna do these here because I think I like these actually. So I put some in the front here and on the back as well. I'm gonna kind of rush through this really quickly. I don't want to make my video too long. And what I kind of made a little bit of not a bridge, but kind of like a wall to help support this cookie. And then I added some at the bottom like I normally do. If you've seen my 3D style cookies, that's what I do. And then I'll just put that in the middle like this, and that icing should help hold. The thicker, like I said, the thicker the better. This one isn't as thick as I would have liked it to be, but it'll work. It'll do. So now just go ahead and add your rocks. I'm gonna add more icing on there. It's not enough. And just keep in mind that you are gonna want your front to be a lot nicer than the back. Nobody really sees the back, so you want to keep this nice and neat and presentable here on the front. So just keep putting the icing and your rocks on there, and don't forget the sides as well, because we need all the support we can get. Move this around. See how it's nice and firm now? I can move it around. So just continue on adding those rocks. You will use quite a bit of them, so this might be a bit of a pricey cookie, but you will wow everyone. So again, do the same thing with these rocks, same exact thing, and then just set them aside to dry, and they should be nice and firm after a few minutes, because this is really thick consistency, so it should dry really quickly. But by the time you are done and everything, you should be able to move them around without any problems. And then just keep them out. Do not stick them in the fridge or anything, and they'll be ready for your party. So I'm gonna finish up the rest, put them all together, and I'll be done. Alright guys, there you have it. 3D style Hope Fizz cookies. I hope you like how they turned out. Here are the ones with the outlines on the outside. And so either way, outline outside, outline inside, they will both look just great. So I hope you liked this video, guys, and found it fun and interesting. Give these a try. I will leave all sorts of information down in the description box below so you can make these yourselves. And that is all. Oh, really quickly, if you are wondering what these little candies are, they are chocolate, and they taste like M&Ms, but like more gourmet. Like they taste really, really good actually. So if you're wondering what they are chocolate, and they taste very, very similar to M&Ms. Alright guys, that is all for this video. I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good one.